This week on Longshot TV.
I thought, well, this will be a great deer to take out of the herd. Well, I got a decoy right here in the field. After hunting up there about a week and a half and filming some really nice deer up there, got my bow, got everything ready. He actually just walks in there, picture perfect. I draw back. Got a shot at this big bruiser. He was actually making a scrape.
Got all my gear together, headed into the blind. I heard kind of a break or a crash in the bushes, and that's when that big boy come out. Real old deer, real big boy.
Can't even text. Hit like 7 words at once.
Most of my early season hunting is done right here right outside of North Myrtle Beach. Last year, Ab and I encountered one of the largest deer that I've seen down here in the past 5 or 6 years. This year, I basically only had one deer that was on my hit list. It was a deer that I'd watched for about 3 years. 4.5, 5.5-year-old deer. This deer really genetically never did grow on one side. First year I saw him, he just had a small little peg. Second year, he had 2 points. And this was either the 4th or the 5th year that I'd seen this deer, and I thought, well, this will be a great deer to take out of the herd, more or less a management deer. My first encounter with this deer, I had him all in sight, camera was on him. I looked at my camera, and it was just too low light of conditions to shoot this deer on camera. So I let him walk off. It was a couple weeks later, had an opportunity to go back in there. Went back in there, got everything set up, everything was perfect. Deer came in, got him on my first camera, perfect footage. My second camera is actually a GoPro and that I operate on my iPhone. And for some reason, I could not get it to record. After me fidgeting around up there for about 3 or 4 minutes, filming the deer, he got a little bit nervous. The wind probably swirled around a couple different times, and before you know it, he was gone. And so my heart kind of sank. Anytime that you go in the woods trying to harvest a deer, solo hunting with a camera and operating all the different equipment that you have to operate, making sure everything is perfect, it's tough. The third time I got in there on my stand, this time I got in there a couple hours early before long. He comes in and he circles actually around the tree, and it took him about 15 minutes to get in there. He was really pretty nervous. The wind it all seems like it swirls down here in the lower part of the state. There was a couple other deer right up underneath the stand, and they came at attention, and this drew more attention to this deer, and I knew that I had to make this thing happen real quick. So from this deer being not nervous at all, he came straight at attention. I pull back, I shoot the arrow, I shoot the bow, and as soon as I shoot, the deer actually hits the ground. That deer a little bit high, but I've been hunting that deer for the last couple years, and he finally came in early season, and I shot that deer with the Hardaway broadhead. It's a new broadhead by Sam Moore. It's called the Hardaway broadhead. Spine shot him, knocked him straight down. That's what the Hardaway broadhead actually can do. Like I said, I shot him a little bit high, but let's go down there and see if we can get him. I'm watching this deer for about 3 years. It's just this deer just genetically never did develop on this right-hand side. I've actually been seeing him for about 3 years now. And I thought, well, this year, haven't shot a deer actually a buck down here in about 3 years or 4 years. So not too many times you get a chance to shoot at a mature deer. Pretty nice deer here for the lower part of the state. And I guess we'll be heading to Illinois here about Friday. This is a deer that, like I said, I'd watched for over 4 years. He was a 4.5, 5.5-year-old deer. This was a management buck that I knew that needed to be taken out of the herd, and so I was pretty excited about being able to do that.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
Ab and I encountered one of the largest deer that I had seen down here in the past 5 or 6 years, and I thought, well, this will be a great deer to take out of the herd. Third time I got in there on my stand. This time I got in there a couple hours early. Hit that deer a little bit high, but I've been hunting that deer for the last couple years. I also do a hunt that I pick up my father, Jack Kaiser, who lives in Knoxville, Tennessee, is where I'm originally from. We also go to the Midwest, and this year we chose Illinois again. We were in I guess west central Illinois, right out of the famous Pike County. We're in a county called Cass County. Up there, we've got several different farms that we actually hunt. Well, I got a decoy right here in the field. A doe and 2 fawns actually worked their way out the bottom of the bean field on the backside, and I've actually got some turkeys coming this way. On pins and needles up here everywhere you look. You never know what's going to show up. I've got an incredible stand that I put up when I came up here earlier in October, and lots of camouflage in this thing, and that's the name of the game. You can't hide your deer stand from other hunters. You can't hide them from deer, and that's kind of my makeup. I'm pretty good at that. One in particular deer that I'd seen that was actually hunting on this one specific stand had some huge scars on his back, so I knew that there was pretty much a larger deer in there, because this deer looked like he had been beat up pretty hard, and I filmed him on several different occasions, some 2.5, 3.5-year-old deer, so we knew there was some nice deer in this area up there. I had one specific location that always drew me back because it was kind of at a pinch point between 2 cornfields. And I was hunting actually on a wood line that actually made a 90-degree angle. There was some old trees in there, and they were hedge apples. And so they have a lot of foliage, and everywhere you look, the ground is just covered with these real big hedge apples. And you can barely, these trees have such big leaves, you can barely shoot through them. I actually cut a little small hole, down where the cornfield was, where I could shoot through this little area, and the deer had actually knocked down, I don't know, the first row or 2 of the corn. So I had nested up there in a nice little stand. I had one basically shooting area to the cornfield that I could see. The cover was so tight in there, I could barely see him. I knew he was a mature deer, 275-pound deer, monster deer. I actually watched him come in, make a big, huge scrape, and it wasn't long. I got my camera on him, and when you're hunting up there, solo hunting with a bow, my Matthews in hand, and my camera in my right hand, I actually videoed this deer as he actually worked his way through the cornfield right into this opening. And so I actually opened up the lens, so I didn't really want to zoom in on him. Got my bow, got everything ready. He actually just walks in there picture perfect. I draw back.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
Well, I got a decoy right here in the field. A doe and 2 fawns actually worked their way out the bottom. After hunting up there about a week and a half and filming some really nice deer up there, a lot of deer that were younger deer, I knew that there was a pretty much a larger deer in there. Got my bow, got everything ready. He actually just walks in there picture perfect. I draw back. Got a good shot, I believe, on a pretty good buck this morning. He actually mule kicks, so anytime you shoot a deer and they mule kick, it means you pretty much made a pretty good shot. It took us about 30 or 40 minutes to find this deer, but he worked his way right down to an old creek bottom.
Wow. There he is right there. Wow. Whew. Man. He's nice and wide. Big rack buck. Illinois.
We had some stands set up from our early October scouting, and got a shot at this big bruiser. He was actually making a scrape, and only basically I could see was just his side angle. Didn't really know how wide he was. He's not a big wide rack buck, but he's got a lot of mass on him. But shot this buck solo cam with my Matthews bow, and with this new broadhead that Sam Moore has actually invented. Sam is the inventor of this Hardaway broadhead. I've hunted with Sam for about 10 years now, and Sam has done an incredible job with the broadhead. With this broadhead, actually, this arrow went slam through this big 250-pound deer. So thanks for Sam inventing this broadhead and allowing me to actually shoot this broadhead. But had an incredible morning hunt.
It's very, very satisfying to be able to take your Matthews bow, your camera, and to be able to harvest an animal of such magnitude on film and capture it. Very, very tough, but I was really proud of what I did, and I couldn't wait to tell the rest of the Longshot crew what I did.
Decided to go to this one spot. It's got standing beans on it. We did a food plot around the edges. The wind was perfect for this stand, so I decided, I said, you know what, we've been seeing some action there with the Cuddy back camera's been showing a lot of decent deer. So I said, you know what, let's go give this a shot here at this stand. And so got all my gear together, headed into the blind. We got a food plot we planted all around the edges. It's about, I guess, about a 60-yard shot on the outside areas of the standing beans. And we're surrounded by timber, and we got a cut bean field all around. We left standing beans in the bowl there where the blind overlooks.
It's Halloween day. I'm hunting over a standing bean field. It's a good spot for the rut right here in this area. So I'm gonna sit tight here this evening, and hopefully I'll get a big one on the ground.
So it's a real exciting spot to hunt, because you usually see a lot of action with the standing beans. But I was sitting in the stand for maybe an hour, maybe not even that long, and I caught some movement to my right through the timber, and I seen a buck go through the timber. I couldn't tell size-wise, a little too far, but I seen it cut through, and it wasn't, I'd say 5-10 minutes after that, I heard kind of a break or a crash in the bushes, and that's when that big boy come out. Real old deer, real big boy.
before the break on Longshot TV.
Got a shot at this big bruiser. He was actually making a scrape.
Got all my gear together, headed into the blind. I heard kind of a break or a crash in the bushes, and that's when that big boy come out. Real old deer, real big boy. So I got the camera on, you know, doing the solo filming, so it's a lot to remember. It's real exciting to do. And so I got it on him, and my heart's pounding. I was like, all right. So just kind of want him to come in closer, because I don't want to take a 50-yard plus shot if I don't have to. So I tried to keep my patience and let him come in a little closer.
Just a little bit. Not to steal somebody's line, but give me a second. Can you hold my hands together right now?
Text Wade and Roy and let them know, you know, that I just shot one, and I was so excited though. My hands were shaking so bad. I was hitting like 7 words at one time with my thumb.
Can you text? Hitting like 7 words at once. Man, that adrenaline's flowing. Gotta do some breathing, baby.
Got dark and we were all finished hunting. We reviewed the footage and everything, and then we decided to wait a few hours and go try to recover.
We reviewed the footage back at the lodge. Shot was a little high, but we seen a lot of blood pumping, so we think he's down. And I did hear him crash too, so we're gonna head over. I see the lighted knot right now sticking up, so we're gonna go head over, retrieve the arrow, and then we're gonna go from there and head in the woods, follow the blood trail, and hopefully recover this big boy. Absolutely covered. Good dark red blood. I believe I caught the lung on that other side, so I'm gonna hope for the best. We followed the blood right here. We're about, I'd say, 30 yards in, and the big blood rub right here. So we're gonna pick it up from right here and keep following it. We had to travel a ways to find him, but I couldn't be more happy, man. I was worried about the shot, but it ended up doing the trick. So I couldn't be more happy. I'm really blessed.
This is Ryan's first solo cam hunt ever. He's hunted with me over the years many times, running the camera. He knows the camera pretty much inside and out. And he's killed some deer a lot bigger than this one. But like I said, this is his first solo cam hunt. This is the first one on film, all by himself, no help. I couldn't be more proud of him. This is one heck of a deer to take like that. But he deserves it. We do all the hard work up here, doing all the food plots, hanging all the stands, setting all the ground blinds. And if you put your time in, hard work, you know your deer, and run your cutty back trail cameras, this is what's going to happen. But good job, Ryan, man. This is one heck of a buck deer. Glad you got him.
Want to find out more about Longshot TV? Look us up on the following. Special thanks goes out to our friends and partners at Country Boy Outfitters.